Well, the final version of the Financial Sector Code has been gazetted, but black financial stakeholders say a crucial mandatory scorecard for retirement funds has been omitted. The Association for Securities and Investment Professionals representative at the FSC Council, Asief Mohamed, joins us now from our studios in Cape Town. Asief, thanks for your time this evening. Why has that retirement fund scorecard been left out of the code?
Siki, I think I need to make two very important corrections before I comment. Firstly, the codes, the financial services sector, triple broad-based black economic empowerment codes of good practice has not been gazetted yet. It'll probably be gazetted in the next few days or so, probably later this week or next week sometime. So that's the first correction I must make. Unfortunately, the Business Day article today was misleading. The headlines especially was misleading. So unfortunately, as you know, sub-editors like to write catchy headlines, and that was a misleading, catchy headline. The other important thing, Siki, is that you've got to remember is that for the first time, APSIP, after working on this code with the other constituencies, labour, business, community, for nearly 3 years, we managed to get a voluntary, if you might call it, retirement fund or umbrella fund or collective investment schemes or medical aid scheme scorecard, put into the Gazette. It's a voluntary code because one of the key players in this industry, the retirement fund associations, aren't signatories to the Financial Services Sector Charter Council at all. So that's the other important point. So we couldn't make it compulsory. We first got to make it voluntary. And then in the next 12 months, the Minister and APSIP has asked for this. Minister of the DTI has specifically said in the next 12 months, coming out from the parliamentary hearings on transformation in the financial services sector, they've come out very clearly to say that the amendments that they're suggesting and any other shortcomings that we have to incorporate into the codes of good practice. And it must be completed within the next 12 months. So we as APSIP are strongly advocating for mandatory inclusion into the main codes of the retirement fund, the umbrella fund, if you might call it, the CIS. It's a very important sector that has to be included in the BBE codes of good practice.
But why does it need...
There is a very reason for that.
And we'll get to the reason in a moment. We'll get to the reason in a moment for why you feel it's important that it's included. But why is there a need for this 12-month period? Why can it not be done immediately?
The reason why is because the transformation hearings was held in the middle part of this year. Parliament then took a couple of months to summarize all the findings. It was 4 days of hearings. A number of people came to present. You could see that a lot of our black people, I must say, are very unhappy that the pace of transformation is extremely slow. In fact, it's one of the least transformed sectors in the industry. So what's happened is that it's taken some time. So what we took a decision, we said, okay, let's gazette the code as soon as possible. Let's set the bar a bit higher and then work on in terms of trying to improve the codes with a bit more time. But we wanted to gazette a much higher, if you might call it, standard of codes in BBE codes at this point in time.
One of the things that were raised by the parliamentary committee during the hearings, the Standing Committee on Finance, was that there seemed to be a level of distrust of the dominant players in the financial services sector by certain stakeholders. Does a delay of this nature not just add to that level of distrust and the frustration that you also speak about among black stakeholders?
I sympathize with that view. I mean, I come from that sector and I know what it's all about. They basically, all they do, they obfuscate, they try and delay, they try and do various things. And today I've got to come across a similar incident where, what the minister has instructed, they slipped in something else, which is contrary to what the minister said, instructed, the draft preamble, to put it that way. So yes, I mean, as Minister Gigaba said, our black people are getting restless. The sector is very slow to move to a more normal and equal society. The sector does not seem to realize if they make it more inclusive, bring a lot more people into the sector, grow the economy, we will have a much more faster growing economy, more sustainable economy. You can grow the economic cake, but all you've got to do is share the incremental growth a lot more with people who rightfully deserve it. And unfortunately, if industry, the financial services sector, doesn't see this as a win-win situation where you can bring more industry players, more competition into this industry to bring down costs, make it better for the consumer, this economy will grow a lot faster. So that's the reason why I think it's very important. The other important reason why you want to bring in the retirement funds, the unit trusts, the umbrella funds, all these savings institutions, because what will happen is that from an ownership perspective, people, in terms of the codes, industry can now, the business, if you might call it the trade associations, business, the life companies, the banks, the short-term insurers, they can look at this and say, okay, what is the black shareholding that's held through on a look-through basis by retirement funds, by unit trusts, and all of those things, and also by women. In fact, don't forget about women.
Yeah,
that's
certainly
a very important sector of our society
and that's
been overlooked.
And that goes into the developmental role that the sector can play. We have to leave it there, unfortunately. Thanks for your time. Asief Mohamed is with the Association of Black Securities Investment Professionals. He's a representative of the FSC Council.